Let's see. Let's see what's going on here, yeah?
Shadowlands left a bit of a bad taste in people's mouth, right? And many are wondering,
Big
can
bad
we memory
taste.
hole it? Can we pretend it doesn't exist? Will Shadowlands drag the rest of WoW down? Will the gravity of Shadowlands' narrative, especially its ending, track the rest of the game? Pull it in a direction that's a bit too unrelatable? Those are some of the worries going on in the Warcraft community. Because people want
It's
to know
fucked.
that the direction of the game
It's all
is something
fucked.
they'll vibe with before they put their time into it. Well, Shadowlands is going into Chromie time. That actually means...
Wait, is
new players
Bellular a massive Blizzard sympathizer? Do you guys remember when he just broke finally a stream on normal hours? Hey, AJ. Do you guys remember when he like just cracked and he was like, fuck Blizzard, fuck these guys, blah blah blah, and he went off? Oh god, that was so great. I remember when he cracked.
will not see it at all.
The bigger
when they
bad
first
than the
play the game.
jailer.
Blizz justified this by saying the story of Shadowlands would be too difficult for new players to digest. Definitely true. But
True.
of course, yeah, it had some problems for us vets as well. Now, it takes years to develop.
I'm playing
an
since Warcraft 3, I don't know what the fuck happened
Dragonflight
either.
Isn't exactly some sudden pivot. They likely knew they wanted to ratchet it back before Dragonflight, but perhaps the reaction to Shadowlands will be almost more impacting what
Oh,
comes
he's on the
after
copium?
Dragonflight.
He's on hopium?
You see, we've been told several times by Blizz they want Dragonflight to feel different. So,
Yeah, they want Dragonflight to feel different. Okay. When I watched the Dragonflight trailer, the entire time I was wondering, who the fuck is the bad guy? I was wondering, why am I like, I thought it was a pretty trailer, okay? But like, in my opinion, it really wasn't that great. Like, it was pretty, Blizzard cinematics, but there was nothing actually like crazy exciting about it. And I don't know what the expansion is about. Like, at all. Like, every other trailer you watch, you're like, oh, okay, like, this is cool, this is what's happening, blah, 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 whatever. I have no clue what's going on here, apart from dragons are back. And I don't think, like, the normal person gets that from watching that.
What is it going to mean? We're going to draw together all the lore elements today.
I hope it's Galakron. That'd be cool.
Why is it that Squarespace.com
It's super bad. Yeah, Grace. Yeah, you're right. Win, Grace.
Today's sponsor. Why is that such an alluring link that's worth clicking? Well, a short while back, I talked about how I added the media section to our game studio's website and how it was dead easy.
Ooh, dragons are back. That's
super
totally
fast.
in my heart, right?
I
Like,
had a whole bunch to do. I had loads of videos in my schedule. I was about to go on
fix
holiday.
the fucking game.
So
But to be fair,
used their
I do
templates.
have really
Bam,
high
bam,
hopes
bam,
for
bam,
the
done. All I had to do was
I
select
have really high
what I want,
hopes for the
apply
the
color
talents,
themes I used earlier,
talent bars that I saw,
chuck in a
like the
bunch of
talent
images.
trees that are coming
Super
back.
quick, super
That
easy.
was cool.
And when it comes to adding some of the YouTube videos that we've done, and I do have a few plans.
Was the volume
there,
okay, guys?
and some audio, because I know loads of you guys want more of our audio. I know that will be just as smooth.
How's the
Now,
link
we've
to
got
the
other
previous
awesome
expansion?
features.
Exactly.
Memberships, email lists, e-commerce that I checked out last time, and other fantastic features. I mean, I'm hyped for the e-commerce thing. I kind of can't wait to
I like
get
the
started
old
there. It was
school
so
Bellular
super quick and
videos.
easy. So get yourself started nice and quick.
But I guess that
Squarespace's
did take a
award-winning
lot of
templates
effort.
to build out your web presence today at Squarespace.
I hope this expansion is good because WoW players keep losing and they should get something nice. That's nice of you.
And you'll get 10% off. A big thanks to Squarespace for supporting our channel. Let's go.
Alright, let's see.
All right, what are we leaving behind? What's getting cut?
What is getting cut? Let's see. Let's see.
Sylvanas. She's in the
Leave her
maw, on
behind.
the road to redemption, or whatever, but basically it's going to be a while before we see her. Questions remain, though, things to grapple with. What will happen to the Forsaken?
You got away with it, guys.
What about the Horde Council?
That's Bobby
How will they
Kotick.
work with the Forsaken? Well, as I covered before, we've got encrypted maps of Tirisfal in 9.2.5. We're likely going to deal with that soon. As for Sylvanas, she will be back, but with the way that Blizzard have set up time in the Maw, it's going to be a long, long, long time. And even if it's in 3 or 4 expansions time, they could almost run a parallel between Sylvanas
Bringing
and her
back
sister
something they
Neria,
shouldn't have
where
removed in the
Neria had
first place.
1,000 years of war and
Yeah,
twisted
right.
nether, because, of course, time works mega funky in the Maw. Sylvanas could spend 1,000 years in the Maw cleaning up after her mistake before we see her again. That's 1,000 years from her perspective.
We're gonna see her. She's gonna be like so
That
perky and
Sylvanas,
nice.
kind of in the box for a while. Kind of like her and Illidan, just a bit gone. Anduin. He's a bit of a mystery, right? He likely does join Sylvanas in the Maw for a bit, per the ending of the book. But what is the plan? Is he going to return later in Dragonflight? I mean, come on. Are they really going to miss out an opportunity of Anduin and Rathian working together? They were bros in Pandaria. Anduin punched them in the face.
They weren't really bros after,
BFA?
though. Yeah, BFA.
Well, I'd say, if anything, the developing Turalian
Punched the shit out of him.
or alliance tension, fracture stuff is going to happen. Anduin will have to be back in some way for that. But per Ian Hazacostas, the game director, Anduin may even give up the throne, or at least step back for a while and let his regent be
Isn't
his regent.
Turalian supposed to be leading?
Could be a bit rumbly, given Turalian.
A little light
Okay,
fanatic.
another thing we're probably going to leave behind for a bit. Covenants and their leaders. Will we deal with them? I think probably not. Blizzard said
Nope,
they're
that's
taking a
another
step back
that's
from
another
Blizzard's
power system that's getting left
Dragonflight,
behind.
then, is about Titans,
We
dragons,
invested all
and
this time.
ancient
Oh,
Azeroth
okay,
history.
we're not bringing it to the next
On one
expansion.
hand, the Shadowlands lore is way too big to put back in the box, right? Because you and me, we know that every power has a pantheon that came from a Zareth. Weird cosmic halo ring, who knows? But on the other hand, does that matter? It only really matters if they make it matter in the future.
We could just pretend it didn't
So it
happen.
shouldn't really impact
What's
our
forward?
boots in the ground high fantasy adventure. If anything, I think they could use ancient Titan lore as a bit of an off-ramp to the strange lore departures of Shadowlands. Speaking of which, we've actually not heard a single thing about the first ones in any Dragonflight interviews or official
The
material.
first ones?
None whatsoever.
I don't remember what the first ones are.
Then,
It's been too
the
long.
shimmering blue water in the cinematic. We all thought it was
I
Azerite.
I
because
liked
the
when
planet's
WoW was
waking
like
up.
old gods.
Blizzard actually confirmed it to be bioluminescence. I mean, Azerite
Bioluminescence.
would have been a reasonable connection. We
Old
wouldn't have
gods
been
were cool.
angry about it or anything. But no, it's bioluminescence. Between that, not mentioning the first ones, man, it does feel like a bit of a step back.
I did feel for this character, whoever he
We've got to
is.
talk about the jailer, though. Zoval.
Running out of their own ideas
After
for
the
WoW.
Second
Well, what they gotta
raid,
do is what
Kareem,
Blizzard does
who's a great
best, right?
character, I
They
like
gotta
him.
copy
He said
other
the
games
jailer damaged
and do it
the
a tiny
grand
bit
design
better.
of the cosmos.
Blizzard, that's what
He
Blizzard
worried,
did
with
best
heavy
back in the day.
foreshadowing, that
They
something
stopped
could take
copying. They need to
advantage
go
of
back to
that flaw
copying.
one day. When's that going to be? That is a looming question. There's gravity in that will pull the story in its direction in the future. Of course, that lines up perfectly with the jailer's cryptic
They're doing with
line
Guild Wars
about
2's flying
what is
system.
to
Right,
come.
exactly. That's probably gonna be great.
We don't know
Because it's
what
not
that
their
is.
original idea.
We've seen zero pointing towards Dragonflight having anything to do with it. Are we leaving that behind? I'd say no. Is it going to be a dangling
This was
mystery
weird,
for
finding
the
out
next,
he's
I
like
don't
this
know,
little
6
robot.
years? Probably. Dragonflight
It's just their
could
version of the
sort
Stormblood
explore
plot.
some of these things, what Jailer was worried about, but to be honest, I'd imagine it's going to be something a bit more in the future. And here's the deal. Sure, a big new cosmic threat. If Blizzard builds that up slowly and with intention over a period of time, it could work.
It could work.
I mean, we all kind of assumed.
But how many
there'd
years
be
are we willing to
something
invest?
going on after Sargeras. The biggest problem was that Zoval was
Burning
shit.
Legion was cool, but I know they
Possible for that to be okay.
can't really milk
Overall,
the
then,
demons
Shadowlands
for
had
forever,
quite a
right?
Self-contained story. The thing is, it didn't feel like a self-contained story
That's a good
because
breakfast.
Blizzard parasitically attached it to what came before. You know, Zoval, the 4D mastermind, and all that.
4D
But
Mastermind.
really, the Arbiter goes down. We all agree the Cosmos is unfair. The Jailer is just a bit of a knob end. He went around, or went about it the wrong way. We install Pelagos as Arbiter. Bang, done. Shadowlands is fixed. Goodbye.
Never go
Leave
back.
it all behind.
Itinerary for Diablo 4.
Of course, now we have to wonder about all the
Agent
cosmic
Alpha.
stuff that can't
It
be put
is. It's
back in
11 in the
box.
morning for me.
But in a way,
So I was gonna stream early today, but I'm also doing a
expanded
late night
the
stream.
lore, but the actual plot
Who streams today?
is kind of self-contained, and it would be pretty easy to just not really bother with it again for ages.
That's the thing, right? They
what's
don't
next?
actually have to do anything with Shadowlands, like
Blue
at
lines
all.
from Shadowlands are going to follow us into Dragonflight. Well, Taronda, I was confirmed by Ian as being an important one. And there's obvious connections. I mean, Elune. In Shadowlands, we hear her voice. That could be the first step in the road to meeting her. Or,
They're really
as we go a
cock-teasing
bit
us
more
with
grounded,
Elune.
exploring her creations and the mythos surrounding her. In my opinion, let's just not talk to pseudo-gods for a while, please. Now, patch 9.2.5 also contains an encrypted cutscene called Queen's Gift. There is art labeled Queen's Gift.
Queen's
that was
Gift.
data mined, and it looks like a seed. So we're kind of thinking that we're going to be getting some sort of seed to
A world tree for the Night Elves.
or some renewal thing. If Toronto's important, then I would imagine the Elune story does get to develop. Some sort of world seed will happen with this Queen's Gift, and we'll see the next step in this renewal storyline. That is a way the Shadowlands story continues into the future of the game, but also how it could start to mend the rather literal damage to the state of the Night Elves and Azeroth that was inflicted by the bizarre double punch of BFA and Shadowlands. Azeroth, then. How will that storyline be carried forward? Well,
yeah, we need to see things naturally through a story. Just data mine it, right? Yeah. WoW's biggest problem.
Just ignore what we've discovered about our own planet. Over the last 3 expansions, they just kept on making Azeroth more and more central to the story. And of course, I'm not literally talking about the crusty planet, I'm talking about the literal god thing at the heart of it. In Legion, we finally confirmed Azeroth had a world soul. Through BFA,
our world soul.
Blood is more
we spent the whole data mining culture WoW really strange from the outside.
In Shadowlands,
I've never seen it as a problem until I've been on the outside.
Is sort of pumping up.
Like you really accept it as like just the norm when you play.
Questions about Azeroth and the first ones. Then in Dragonflight, it's continued a bit, where we see the land awakening and the Dragonflights taking their positions as guardians of Azeroth once more. Right?
I liked it when Azeroth was completely unconscious and we didn't actually interact with it.
But that really
with the world soul, I mean.
To hear about the first ones again. There's quite a good opening for them.
I just want to go back to like orcs versus humans. But now we have like orcs and humans together.
And they can do that because they're bringing back the dragons. They can take the weird loopy
I only
stuff
like them joining forces to fight the big bads.
Cool core fantasy thing that we already like. Okay.
Are we going to do anything with the giant sword in Azeroth's butt crack? What sword? What are you talking about? What should stay?
Shadowlands did have a few excellent elements.
Bro, ARR it. Just nuke the whole thing.
I'm going to say that. The brokers, they're great. I'd love to see them again. I think we will continue to have them. I think they could tie into the very interesting ethereal conspiracy.
I don't care for the brokers at all. Honestly, I care for very little of Shadowlands.
But I do think that Dragonflight is just not the place for them.
What should stay? Sargeras' sword? Burn it. Yeah, right. Burn it. Burn it all.
Popular character in the community. The developers decided to give him actually more story.
Oh, Milliflower, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you enjoy your stay with us.
The way that all played out, with the Jailer's downfall and the Nathrezim seemingly still being maybe even a bit more loyal to Denathrius, it kind of gave us the impression that the
Denathrius was okay.
Had a bit of an off-ramp from the Jailer. Again, not something we're likely to take into Dragonflight, but Denathrius and his legion of cosmic infiltrators could be important in the future. Actually, no, they are, and that's why I bring it up today. Because 9.2.5, sort of early-ish data mining, kind of suggests there might be a slice of Dreadlord lore in this patch that establishes the new Mythic Plus affix. So they do have a little way to carry that forward. For other characters staying in the story, Tyrande, Rathian, Khadgar, those are all confirmed for Dragonflight, but you might wonder, where does that leave the Horde? Because a few Horde characters were in and sort of were sometimes developed during Shadowlands. Well, Bane's Shadowlands adventure didn't pan out. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Didn't meet Cairn. We didn't learn about the true heritage of the Tauren.
Yeah.
That was something we were kind of promised by marketing material. So surely we're due
what the hell?
Get some of his
dude, I will never forget Blizzard. I will never forgive Blizzard for fucking killing Cairn Bloodhoof off screen. Can you believe that shit? I still will never forgive them for that.
Then Thrall.
They killed Cairn off screen in a duel, in a Mak'gora.
Big and important for Thrall, because he's now back in his old school, Doomhammer, black
and he was
armor.
Cheated too with like a poisoned blade.
Conversation with Draka, he's kind of over his guilt at killing Garrosh. That is one of the things that was really holding Thrall back. And that actually means that we might have our hammer swinging.
Thrall has become so uninteresting.
The story,
he went from such a cool guy to like just like steady downhill.
Because the armor he's wearing very much looks like Warcraft 3 Thrall, not Green Jesus Thrall.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Warcraft 3 Thrall.
The other
Best Thrall.
opportunity for the Horde is Vol'jin.
Vol'jin.
Yeah. Vol'jin, I mean, come on. He's one of the most screwed over characters in the game. He just could have got so much more. He's such a cool dude. Well, the thing is, his soul is now all connected, wrapped up to the Loa of King.
Either way, for the 12 books that come out each expansion, you need to pay for, right?
Winter Queen sort of stored his soul in a wild.
No, Dark, you're right. You hit it on the head.
This just kind of means that there's room for him to be sort of reborn in Azeroth or visit Azeroth as a Loa.
I like Vol'jin.
So
Last story is just cheese now. Stinky cheese.
Be back in the story that would continue on the Shadowlands storyline, but kind of like in a good way.
Expensive for the expansions? They're like $60 on release-ish. I don't remember. I think they're $60.
For in Hazzikostas, the most exciting challenge of Shadowlands was making something.
And then you could do like the exclusive expansion stuff for $80, and the super exclusive stuff for $100.
Mined a whole bunch out of Warcraft 3.
You get like some shitty mount and some shitty skin. Or transmog, I mean.
So that's where that went. We'll debate for years how good that was. Or maybe we won't, because maybe it's a settled issue. But there's one thing that we know, I think, beyond a doubt. We can never really go back.
We can't go back, no. Let me back.
I don't think it's possible to retcon it. But
who has more brownie?
I mean, literally, we know our cosmos is now full of warring pantheons since the beginning of time. And
good morning, Emily.
Jailer thinks something really scary is coming to end everything. We can never undo those things. And the thing is that if we weren't so exhausted with that kind of content, then it's weird. It would be really hard to ignore it. I think because we're so exhausted by it, it's very easy to ignore. But also, as somebody who really enjoys the Warhammer
but now
franchise,
I
do think that stuff is really cool. It just
awakened Final Fantasy player, and I know I'm being abused.
It's going to be put
by Blizzard
aside for a good long time, and I think there's something emblematic of that. When we saw Koranos, the Titan Watcher.
Koranos. Okay, that's what it is.
I think that was really Blizzard saying, "Hey, remember when Cosmic was cool?" Because he was very much in the style of Uldaman Titan stuff.
Cosmic was cool. I'll give him that. It was really cool when you didn't know about these things. When it was like very mysterious, it was cool. But now that they've explained everything, and now that like
anything that wasn't cool,
it's just like
it was just too damn convoluted to be good from Shadowlands. I think it'll just be put on the shelf for this expansion. So how much can we ignore Shadowlands and Dragonflight? I would say almost all of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it.
Put the whole thing in the box and never talk about it again.
And that's, I mean, from my
thanks so much, Millie.
Pretty good thing.
Thank you very much.
There you go. If you were just kind of wondering, if you had that existential fear of, oh no, they've jumped the shark. They can't put the. I was going to say put the.
They can literally pretend like it never happened, and we never talk about it.
I can't put it back in. And if you were worried that that just means Warcraft's never going to feel like Warcraft, I think it's very possible to essentially memory hole Shadowlands. I think it could work. Okay, that's it.
Warcraft hasn't felt like Warcraft in a very long time. Hey, Kara, how's it going?
You know all this stuff with the Zareths? How do you think they resolve that in the future? I mean, from my perspective, how they resolve that.
The stuff about having sort of many X-Packs later. FF14 is just better.
Knocks them all out, or makes them go all weird, or something like that, or makes them essentially not be that important.
I just want both games to be good, so I can play another one when there's like a downtime or a content drought.
Yeah, you know that. I
want both games to make Warcraft good, bro. I'll cry on stream. I don't care.
Shaping Fate.
Start just crying. Blizzard, please.
Okay.
We'll make Warcraft 4 Reforged. Warcraft 3 Reforged.
I'll see you next.
Has some elements in Endwalker that link back to El Realm Reborn. That's kind of crazy. But get this, ready? Thank you, Dark. Good posture check. Okay, sure. Final Fantasy has some elements in Endwalker that link back to AR, but Shadowlands links back to Warcraft 3. Remember, they've been making this story since Warcraft 3, Keck. don't want to watch this right now. I want to see that Yoshi P thing.